Hi, Kishan Banchal here, and today we are going to go through Greenplum High Availability feature with Master Mirroring. Go through all the features we have.
Greenplum Database Master Instance is client's single point of access to the system. The master instance stores the global system catalog, the set of system tables that store metadata about the database instance, but no user data. If an unmirrored master instance fails or becomes inaccessible, the Greenplum instance is effectively offline, since the entry point of the system has been lost. For this reason, a standby master host must be ready to take over if primary master fails.
We can deploy a backup or mirror of master instance on a separate host machine. The backup master instance called standby master serve as a warm standby if primary master becomes non-operational. Since the master does not house user data, only system catalog tables are synchronized between the primary and standby master. When these tables are updated, the replication logs that capture the changes are streamed to the standby master to keep it current with the primary. In case the primary master fails, the Greenplum database shut down and the master replication process stops. The administrator run the GP standby utility to have the standby master take over as new primary master. For more details, please check our Greenplum docs. Here I have started the database. Meanwhile, we'll go through our standby host and verify all the configurations are there. Check out our first video to set up the host for Greenplum database. You can see host name is set. We are having passwordless SSH and our Greenplum binary is uninstalled. I have also created the directories which are required. As soon as our host is ready, we are good to add our standby host. To check whether the standby host is already attached or not, you can execute gpstate-f. So in our first scenario, we are simply going to use gp init standby utility to add our standby host. Refer the VMware document for more details. The gp init standby utility adds a backup standby master host to your Greenplum database system. Before running this utility, make sure that Greenplum database software is installed on the standby master host and all the parameters are there. Verify the standby is added or not via gpstate-f. You can see all the standby details are there and standby host is passive. Here it was our first scenario. Now we will go to our second scenario to recover failed standby. Verify the standby process are running or not via gpstate-f. To create this scenario, I am going to turn off my standby master host. As soon as the standby host is unreachable, the Greenplum database marks the standby process is down and we can verify it via gpstate-f command. We'll start the standby host again. Again verify the gpstate-f output. In your case, it could be due to many things. Your host is having issue, might have a failure, and many more things could happen. To recover from this situation, we are going to use gp init standby utility. First, we are going to remove the standby and add it again. Monitor the progress via gp-state-f. Now add the standby again. Monitor the progress via gp-state-f. This was one of the scenario where we recovered the failed standby host. Now we'll go through the steps where our master host is unoperational. We will use the gp init standby utility as well as the gp active standby utility. To see the view from user side also and the admin side also, we are going to use pgadmin here as a connectivity tool to our Greenplum database. As we are using two different hosts for primary master and the standby master host, we will be having two IPs. So if an example, if our master host is down, the applications or the user should be transferred to our standby master host. In my current scenario, I am using the DNS name where you can see I am editing my Windows host file and adding the IP addresses of both master and the standby host as GP cluster. Same I have updated in the pgadmin GP cluster as a host name. In a scenario, if my master host is not available, then it will redirect the user or application to the standby host IP. We'll verify our connectivity by creating one table. This is just a raw data to show here. To create our third scenario, we will shut down the master host and our entry point to the database is closed. And our warm standby as well as all our segments are up and running. From user side, all the current running queries will get terminated, and if user would try to execute new queries, they will not able to reach the master host. To redirect all the application or user to our standby host, we have to execute gp active standby utility, so on the roles can be switched. gp active standby utility or command to be executed on the active master or standby host. This process could take couple of minutes depending on your cluster configuration. Now our standby host will act as a primary host for all the users and application. So on our database is available. Now the user or application is connected to the standby master host. We'll test it and create one table here. As we switch with the role and made standby as our master, now there will be no standby configured, as we can see in the gp-state-f output. To recover from this situation and make our primary master host as master host again, we need to add our primary master host as standby host and sync it again. Now we'll start our master host again and check whether all the directories are there or not, or if any host fix is required. If all green, then we are good to execute GP and its standby utility. Check the GP state-f status and execute GP and its standby utility and add the master host as a standby. I have kept a couple of errors to be troubleshoot right away. The master data directory is not cleaned up after the failure because it contains the logs that can help us to determine the failure. Once the failure is identified, then we are good to delete the files in the master data directory and initialize it again. We'll add our master host as a standby. Prompt yes or no. Wait for a couple of minutes and now our master host is added as a standby host for master mirroring. Verify the directories. Now we'll switch our primary master host as a master host and get back to our preferred configuration. To do this, we can bring down the database in a maintenance mode, or here simply I am shutting down the standby host, which will allow me to run the GP active standby to run on the master host. Now we'll run the GP active standby utility on our primary master host. This will switch our active master host and we are back in the optimal cluster mode. Verify the changes via executing gp state-e as well as gp state-f to check whether everything is normal or not. Our primary master host effectively becomes the Greenplum database master now. Now we are able to connect to our primary master host again. And again users are able to connect to the database. To add our secondary standby again, follow the same process as we did in the first scenario. In all three scenarios, our data was consistent as the master host does not store any user data. As we were using host names, our user does not have to switch the connections from the standby and master and vice versa. But the connections were terminated during the switch and the running query will also get terminated. Make sure you have a preferred downtime to switch the roles. Also, there could be a other network utility which will help us to resolve our IP issues. For more information about the utilities GP init system and GP init standby and GP active standby, see our Greenplum database utility guide. Thank you all, that's all for today. If you are having any comments or facing any error, please let us know in the comment down below.